Shalom Khun. This video is about how to learn Syriac using the tools I'm setting up online. I hope that you enjoy it. Please subscribe and turn on notifications. There's going to be links to what I'm talking about in the description below. First of all, you can start with the script. Right now I've started using my old blog a little bit to put up some content that I've produced for classical Syriac. I've got a description of the history of Syriac writing, but I have two sheets that help you with stroke order on learning the letters. My recommendation is to learn the alphabet that you don't plan on writing on, that you don't plan to be your tradition. So you kind of should have figured out what tradition you want to be in, either Assyrian Church of the East or Syriac Orthodox Church. Just because there's, you're going to pronounce one style or the other. And even though I definitely believe all Syriacs have as their inheritance both traditions, nobody who's well-formed in tradition should have difficulty switching between scripts. We are still going to pronounce things one way, right? I'm not going to say both Melka and Melko. It's going to be one way that I think of it, right? Even if I can't speak the other. Do it in the opposite the first time. Go through book 2 of Kabash's reading list. So that's, you go over to my my Syriac language learning, my Syriac language tutorials playlist, and then we've got the Kabash readers that I've read. So book 1, book 2, see there's Western, there's Eastern for book 1 and for book 2. So if you're a Church of the East, you're going to be reading out of a Khudra. You're used to the Church of the East style writing, right? You're used to this kind of writing. I would learn one time how to make those letters. Just kind of know the rules. You're going to keep this in your head actively, hopefully for a couple days. Go through the books in the Western style. If the Syriac's difficult for you, watch it once in the Eastern to get you through the Western. But get through the Western, because after book 2, they're all going to be Western, and you have tons of resources for Western style script. For instance, sidra.bedmarduzo.org, it's your best online dictionary for this. If you're trying to look up a word, you start typing, and there it is. And then once you find it, you have Bra, Kostas, Marguluth, you have all these different sources, and you also have, it's the only place you're going to get the Bra Kiraz dictionary, which is the very best for Ktawanaya, for modern spoken classical, and it's nice because also the input system. So if I am, there's Martuma Audo, we've got Audo, he's got paradigms, there's gloss search. So if I want to look up, what would be the Syriac word for a mole, khulda, there's khulda, and I've got all those resources. But of course, we're using that script. There's tremendous material out there. We're going to look at this website in a second. So you want to know that from the Western coming to the Eastern, you need to know the Eastern script. It's part of your tradition. Same thing. So if you're from West to East, start by knowing the stroke order so that the letters make sense to you. They're not difficult on your eyes. Go through books 1 and 2 of Kabash in the Eastern, because the rest are going to be Western. But seek out the Eastern. Seek out what's weak. So here's the Western script order. Again, Church of the East. I would learn that one time. You're not going to be writing it, because after you get to the point where you can comfortably read, you're keeping up, you're in book 2, book 3, book 4, you're going to stop even thinking about Western. You're going to purposefully, you've learned enough of it. Now you're going to go take your Eastern, and you're going to very carefully make those, and you're going to always write in this, and you make this very proficient and beautiful in your writing. You'll internalize it. That's why I start with the opposite, because I'm not going to stick with it. It's a kind of down and dirty way to get it down. And really, there's Beth, there's Cap. Easterners have really difficulty time with the Ma'arboyo, Beth, and Cap similarity. But when you see that the Beth goes back and forth to make parallel, and this one has a hook here, and you write it once, you get it. Same thing with Dalet. Keep thinking it's a Zan until you realize that no, you can make Dalet kind of like that, and if you do that quickly, it becomes this, almost like an Arabic Dal with a dot at the bottom. So that's going to be on the blog. I've got my Syriac language tutorials playlist that's updated regularly. Go through it. Its point is not to have you sit down and memorize every single thing I say. It's that you can keep on going forward and that you keep up. Next, I'm going to be doing book 4. Hopefully, I will be limiting myself in my English, and you can use stuff like this dictionary at Sodana to figure it out, that my reading is really there to help you out, and I will try to break down stuff that wouldn't be immediately obvious just by having looked up the words. Also, for working on your Eastern, the best is the recording of the Psalter by Shamasha Abdullah, who is a Al-Qushaya from Al-Qush deacon. Their accent, their dialect has a very rich phonemic, so they have the difference. For instance, my dialect, I would say khab and I would say khet. He would say khab and heth. His I is very deep. His pronunciation is very precise and nice. And Al-Qush is kind of known for that. So you have that playlist, and you can learn the Psalter, the traditional book by which Syriac is learned. I also have the grammar of Arayathinal. I'm about to record another chapter of it. It starts at chapter 4, so this is chapter 4. This is really like chapter 8 or 9, but these are in sequence. Now, if you're doing Arayathinal, and I recommend you do, it's the heavier approach of what I have here, maybe something to leave for after you get to book, let's say 3. That's one you'd want to order and purchase. So you go to lulu.com. Again, it will be linked. And you order this. When you're ordering this, click on the name, order volume 2 and the key. So I don't think that's too expensive. Probably for $65 delivered, you have a very nice, big, thick guide to Syriac to Aramaic. And finally, where I get a lot of my material that I'm using, it's the Kabash shilta, or chain. So you have 2 nicely available versions. One is this one, recently done by a Canadian Syriac Orthodox priest. I guess that one's... he retyped Holland. No, it says Madrashat the Ayat Jalda Thalaha, so St. Mary's Church in Bruxelles. So he's retyped it. For some people, that's nice to see. I'm not using these editions, but they're there. For instance, I think he went through book 3, yeah. Say book 3 I'm using, Yaeli Shabo, and his website also has this on this church's website, but it's the same thing that I'm reading, except these are machine written. If you like that, please, by all means, you can follow what I'm doing. You should print a Kabash out and really study it. That's what my videos are made to help you do. I'm using the originals, these right here. And I'm literally going off of these downloads. So, and as you see, it's got Chichek's beautiful scribal work, but that can still be a challenge. If you find that as a challenge, please feel free to use Eli Shabo's work. Asha Eli, forgive me. when you're using this, one thing, and I hope it's still there, if not I'll find it, is that at the end of his work he has a dictionary. So I would go to book 3 of Rabbi Kasha Ili Shabo's typed versions of Kabash. I would download it, and even if you don't print everything from here, let's say you're using the other ones, the ones I was using, I would go from Lexicon and print to the end, because he has a lexicon. And it's a lexicon the way the words appear. So if you have that as you're reading, you can just flip through and 10 pages. That's really quick and nice. Like pray, it's not Sade Lemet, Yudwaw, it's Msale, because that's Msalena is how it appears in the book. And then he also has a short grammar. Well, you look in the book, you'll see it. And you have the complete Kabash series, Darshana, we can go through soon. And he also has other books that I'm also interested in reading through. So this is a tremendous resource, the Department of Syriac Studies of the Syriac Orthodox Patriarchate. So I highly recommend it. It's also where a lot of my stuff is sourced. Finally, to wrap up this video, I just threw that back screen. That's the earliest copy of Achiqar Hakima. It's from the Elephantine Jewish community from 500 BC. So it's at least a 2,500-year-old version of it in the Kabash, and I thought that was a cool backdrop. Stay up to date with this channel. Use comments. In the coming days, I will be setting up a Discord server where I can interface more closely with people, and as soon as I do, I'll add it to the description of this video right here, so you may join that, and we can have more one-on-one and answer questions and share more resources there. But I hope that helps create for yourself a curriculum for learning Syriac, and please let me know anything I can do to help you with the process. So why I'm putting this content here is to make sure that Syriac is available and accessible to everyone. God bless you. Mshicha Barchach. Pushim Sheina.